This summer we decided for the week that we had off to take a train up to Seattle to visit some friends. The Coast Starlight train goes from Los Angeles all the way to Seattle in about 35 hours. But we started from LA's Union Station, which is just architecturally one of the most beautiful train stations I've ever seen. We checked into our train and lo and behold, it was delayed. So we hung out in the waiting area. These seats look awesome, but they're very uncomfortable. And eventually we made our way over to the Coast Starlight's sleeping train area. And we had reserved a room for 2 people, and there were different kinds of rooms available if you wanted to be able to sleep in a kind of bed-like situation. More on that later. But we found our rooms, and you go up in these very narrow hallways and find yourself in a kind of roomette. Linens were there, all set up. The room was, it was pretty comfortable. It was roomy for 2 people. There's a very tiny sink, which splashed everywhere when you tried to brush your teeth or do anything in it, frankly. And then later on, they would come by, take our orders for food, help us put things down for beds. Here is the room bathroom, and it actually comes with a shower inside. We didn't attempt to use the shower that much because it was a little precarious, but they do give you towels, and they set everything up to be, pretty much for 2 people. There's a bunk on top with all the linens all set up. There's like a little mattress pad. There's a air filter up there and lights so that it's not too stuffy or you don't feel too claustrophobic. There is netting so you don't fall off of it, which is really nice. It was pretty easy to do for 1 person, I think, setting it up. But they will help you if you ask. And then in this one, they also had kind of older fixtures that you don't really need, but really we were looking at the sockets to see where we could charge our stuff. But they also came with all these toiletries for the most part, cups and tissues and towels. And if you ever needed anything else, you could ask them. There was a trash bin inside. It was, dated, but clearly everything was functional for what you needed. The little tray, and they provided water bottles for you. And they also had a menu for the food. You could order either in your room or you could go into the dining car and have some food there. And so they tried to make sure that everybody got a chance to try. We were on this train for, again, over 30 hours. So we got to try both breakfast, lunch, and dinner, both in room and in the dining car. If you are worried, there is a lock when you're inside the actual compartment, but there is actually no lock when you leave it. But for the most part, it's pretty safe. Our train left the station and chugged its way through downtown LA, up the coast, and we saw some really interesting views. A lot of it went by pretty quickly, but we were glued for the most part. The first night we had dinner in our rooms and just chilled out because we were so tired. One of the things you can do is get dinner delivered to your room if you choose to do so. So we have a whole bunch of things. They individually wrap everything. It's like as if you were in the dining car, and then they just bring you the same things basically. So I think all of these, although they look fancy, they're actually made out of plastic. And then all the utensils look fancy, but they're actually all made out of plastic. So I got the crispy shrimp, the coconut crusted shrimp with a lot of sauce. And then this is the baked brie and raspberry empanada. That's the appetizer.
Which is interesting because on the menu it says baked brie and raspberry empanadas, but you get one.
Yeah, you get one. You get one. And then this is gonna be dessert. We'll show you that later, and then we'll go on to our entrees, but we're gonna start with this. So this is the signature flat iron steak. Comes with mashed potatoes and green beans and a wine sauce. They actually gave me a real steak knife, but all of the rest is plastic. And then Alan got the grilled cheese again from the kids menu.
Because they don't have any actually vegetarian-friendly entrees.
Yeah, all of the plant-based stuff is like, it mimics meat, so Alan, as a vegetarian, doesn't like that. So this is the really, well, that, and there's like a mac and cheese, I think. That's pure veg.
Yeah.
But everything else is like, they use a lot, there's a lot of like impossible meat. Like that's the rigatoni, yeah.
Sauce, yeah.
So, all right, we'll see how it goes. The shrimp and the empanadas are actually really pretty okay.
Yeah, I like the empanada.
Yeah,
the
it was good.
empanada singular. Yeah, it was great.
We cleaned up dinner. Very good. Good job. Also, wine in a sippy cup. Very dangerous. The steak was supposed to be medium rare. It was more like medium well, and it was not as dry as I thought it would be, but it also wasn't very juicy. So it's okay. It was okay. For dessert, I got the blueberry cheesecake, and Alan got the Meyer lemon cake again. This was good. We had it at lunch. Just regular kind of like store-bought cake, soft, and its inner kind of
like
lemon
lemonade.
filling. Yeah, it tastes like lemonade. We'll see if this cheesecake's any good. It looks like it could be really good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yum.
Do I like cello?
Yum.
Yum.
Sleeping on the train, though, I will say was fairly uncomfortable, and you felt every little thing. So if you're a light sleeper, this is probably not the best way to go, but it was beautiful. The next morning, we found ourselves at the border of Washington State and tried to have some breakfast in the dining car that morning. It was a lot less crowded, so we were able to find a seat, but we were seated with other people. They do that to keep up space limitations on the train and make sure everyone gets a seat. And so we tried some French toast. Alan tried that. I tried the cheese quesadilla. It was pretty tasty for train food, and frankly, the servers are really nice, and you get to meet a lot of interesting people on your ride. Plus, you get to eat with a view like this running past you as you munch on food and contemplate your next destination. So it was pretty amazing. I will say, even though the sleep wasn't great, it was still a good experience if you like trains.
Checked luggage will be available inside the station just a few minutes upon arrival. Once again, Vancouver, Washington.
After over 30 hours, many meals, and a night of turbulent sleep, we finally made it to Seattle. It was about 8 o'clock at that point, so we had spent almost the full day on the train, and we arrived at Seattle's Union Station. And it was really, really beautiful inside. I did not expect the kind of neoclassical interior. It was really beautiful. Yeah, that was our train trip up to Seattle from LA, and we needed this night's sleep like nobody's business. More later.